Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How was your trip?
Fine. Lots of holidays.
Do you want something to drink?
No, thanks. I had already eaten breakfast.
Take a seat then.
Oh, wait a moment. Let me take a spotlight from the car.
Okay.
Well, let's go straight to the point. Why have you called me?
It's, have you seen the latest stats about population here?
No, I haven't got the chance. What are they?
They are terrible. Each year, there are less and less people in different town.
True, the population. It's like a giant caravan around devouring every rural settlement.
Not only that, as I was by road, the street, I noticed how rusty the buildings are getting. How either houses are for sale or completely ruined. What once was a town of opportunity where German, Prussian, Austrian come to set up their establishment and to start new projects has become the decrepit old glory. The only shows that stay alive from the golden past are a tiny bakery where a long time ago the best bread was made. A supermarket opening by a franchise, a tobacco store promoting addictions, and a post office that would be a miracle if you found it open. And Pericone. Oh, Pericone. Pericone was a traditional sweet from here, from Arquellos. They only baked them in a pastry store there next to the city council. Um, well, listen, 3 months ago, that pretty little unique shop was closing to the bankruptcy.
What an awful story.
It is, and people do nothing about it. The four of us that keep living in these beaches, desert are like this is gonna last a whole night long. But what that all octogenarian coders don't know is that when they get buried, they will drag aquellos to their grave as well as it happened with Pericones.
Soon this hamlet will be inhabited by cats and moods. But what do you think is causing it?
No clue, I don't understand. We live, well, we have a school, a lake, what? What more do you need to stay here?
Do you know perhaps activities? For instance, what do they do when they want to go shopping or watch a movie?
They're always Linares 30 minutes from here. Or Jaén, if you don't mind driving more.
Yeah, that's a problem. Why wouldn't they simply move there or to a large metropolis like Madrid, where you have everything you can imagine concentrated in one place?
No, you're right. Maybe our fate is chosen. After all, it's natural. Big city getting bigger and more ones vanishing.
The truth is always so. What can we do? Oh, quarter to 7. Sorry, gentlemen, you'll have to excuse me, but I have a long way back and it's getting late. Thank you so much for your words. I'll keep them in my mind.
Wait, I call you out the car. Thank you.
It was a miracle.
Okay, but let's start from the beginning. When did you find it?
I was herding my dogs up in the mountain where this town lies, and it was a truly foggy day. We were hiding out to get lost, so we were gonna start the downhill. When we went into that tower. A really strange tower made out of stones and with that hood-shaped roof, characteristic of European palaces. There was a door, a narrow and short bony wooden door, where I spotted a placard.
Alquillos Resettlement Center of Services. ARCOT. This must be the mayor's work.
I thought. Little did I know what I was going to find out.
But how did you get from the tower to the complex?
In fact, I was going to live there, but in my distraction, I lost sight of a goat. I looked around and there it was, up on a ledge. Getting there, I tripped over a boulder, a white shiny boulder, and then I noticed it wasn't just a boulder. It was part of a white brick road, which I was sure wasn't there before.
Wait a minute, as far as I'm concerned, the brick road hadn't appeared yet during the first few hours, right?
Indeed, but only the central one. The lateral ones were there all along.
Oh, I got it. Continue, please.
Let me see, where was I?
The white brick road, see?
Right, the Webber Road. I followed it, and after 3 miles, if I remember correctly, there it was. Lots of buildings, united by that strange sticky fog, each one with a different shape. I thought I was dreaming, or I was eaten or dead. Cinema, a theater, a library, sports centers, restaurants, shops, a park, a church, a pool, even a Melikov installation. Everything you can imagine and much more. I hadn't discovered yet. After wandering around for God knows how long, I hurried to go down to town and report news. I first went to Francisco's house, and I told him all I saw. The tower, the path, the complex, and by the time we decided to make an expedition, the sky had cleared. It was unbelievable. A white pearly path had grown from the soil, a path that led directly to the triangular megastructure that crowned Arcos. Not only that, as if the mountain had been completely dark, a straight horizontal glass balcony had emerged linking the two towers at the end, shaping what might be seen as a bow.
Who do you think built it?
God. Some think it was the mayor, others that it was the government. The craziest one that it was aliens or Illuminatis, but no one on earth could have ever done that. It's simply irrational, illogical, absurd. How could ever someone ordain all that wood, sand, bricks and glass in such a stunning architecture design in just one night?
Who knows? And what happened next? How affected that divine building to Archelaus?
It was a revival. Archelaus became the focus of everyone's attention. TV shows, pressmen, YouTubers suddenly invaded the streets in order to explain the paranormal event.
Did you used to go there?
Of course, every Archelian did. It was a novelty. At first, it was just a trend. Some people go because of curiosity and the media to get profit. But it evolves way more crazier.
When did tourists start coming?
A month later, like a prestissimo Vivaldi passage that finally resolves into a bright major cadence, media chaos appears to have ended. We thought it had been another of those TikTok booms that doesn't last more than a few weeks. Silence recovered his position as cacique of this tiny forgettable village. Till Christmas. The Christmas holidays led all those urbanites who were eagerly longing for a few days of tranquility in the countryside to just arcade at the new rest office. As we say here, same shit, different day. Anyway, it works. Hundreds and truth thousands of people came here every week. Restaurants full even in the earliest hours of the morning. Shops crowded and opening a new one every day. We were culinarians which have been the regional commercial power. Culture, historians, scientists and artists came here to assist to the wonderful investigations of museum hosts. Sports, we got to have a considerable football team that reached the second division. And cinema, oh cinema, no tickets were available for the coming 3 months. The release of bombastic super productions were celebrated here, and they even tried to put on a festival similar to Cannes or Venice. August brought work, leisure, and reason to stay. For the first time in forever, the population was increasing. Archelaus was the moon on that mysterious night when this building arose, brightly shining in a dark stage, eclipsing the other small lights that were around it.
Great times they seem to be.
Definitely, they were.
For the most wonderful time of the year.
But Damu knew that sooner or later it would be hidden as always. What a shame that every rise is followed by a fall. You know, I don't like religions, for they are baseless dogmas that gives hope to helpless people.
I'm sorry, sir, but haven't you told me that the complex was a divine presence?
I have. It was.
So God built it.
100%.
I'm confused, sir. How could you be Christian and yet hate religion?
Well, I don't want to believe in him, in God, in a merciless God, in a wretched God, in a cruel God.
Christian God is not like that. Christ is righteous, humble, and redeeming.
How can a God be righteous when that bases the life of ones over the life of others? How can a God be humble when that calls himself Almighty? How can a God be redeeming when that picks up a dying dog from the road, feeds him and takes care of him, and that slaughters it and put him for dinner in the Garden of Eden?
Sir, what happened to Arcos?
It died.
Why? Wasn't it a hopeful project?
It just emptied over time.
I can comprehend it. What led to that?
Maybe an inappropriate administration. Maybe we were in the wrong place, too isolated to be relevant, or maybe it's a matter of luck.
Wait, who managed Arcos?
They say the mayor handled it, but then the provincial council also got involved. Actually, it wasn't really clear. Moreover, establishment there had signed a special agreement with the council that led to a price raise, and no one ever cared about the structural problems of the building. The deterioration reached a point where what was on the top of the mountain was just as dirty, cracked and rusty as what was below.
When did it all end?
In 2035, 5 years after its appearance. At that time it was almost abandoned. When 3 fires in a row forced the town council to close the area.
Whoa, what a story. I'm so sorry about it, sir, but sometimes we have to move on.
But I can't help feeling sorry. Knowing what this village could have been, what could have reached. Knowing that this land where I was raised, where all my memories are bound, is disappearing from the maps, is breaking. And when suddenly it seems that a solution has fallen from the stars, it falls and hits you out. It's shocking, it's devastating, it's soulless. Knowing that the Arcos was nothing but a really.
Oh, quarter to 7. Sorry, gentlemen, you'll have to excuse me, but I have a long way back and it's getting late. Thank you so much for your words. I'll keep them in my mind.
Wait, I call you out the car. Thank you.
Have a good trip.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone to soldier, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flower, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?